Thank you. Great job.
Cute.
Ricky is the cop. I like to read that. I like to read that line. What?
Please write a song called that.
Don't tempt me.
I think it should be a major key too, Chris.
Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky
Please.
is a cop, and
Ricky.
here he comes.
Ricky is the cop.
Ricky, there we go.
I'm Dave Ebersole. I'm the co-creator of Dash and the writer and director of Dash the podcast.
I'm Mick Loro. I do everything else.
Well, not everything else.
Not everything.
Well, how can I follow that? I'm Christopher Tolomeo. I play Johnny Plinketts, and I composed some of the music here for Dash.
This is kind of awesome and special, and I love when the three of us get to meet and talk about all things, not just the acting, which is great, but also the sound of the podcast, which you two are entirely responsible for. So that is it's always awesome when we get these moments, and they're actually very rare. So I'm excited to talk about it. As of this recording, all of our Plink mini-series is uploaded, so we will be talking about spoilers from anything from that beforehand. So if you don't want those, get the heck out of here.
Spoiler alert! Right.
I actually kind of want to talk a little bit more about the Plink stuff, because that was Plink ends up leaving the podcast after episode 3 in season 1 because he gets taken out, he gets killed, he gets offed, and this was a story that was sort of it was a prologue. It was a last minute addition to the graphic novel that I always knew for the podcast I wanted to adapt and kind of expand on. But with circumstances being as they were, Mick and we took a pause on making the podcast. And then when we got back to it, for me, the story just really exploded. But I was excited because Chris kind of got to take the lead. So, Chris, what was that like for you?
Well, the new material, it delves more into Plink's backstory and character, because the first time we see him, we don't know. We're not quite sure, good guy, bad guy, but it just delves more into his backstory and his life, and sister, Kathy,
Emily Butterback, Scorpion, played by Kathy Mustak. In the audio drama, they were always brother and sister. For me, I was gonna, and like that, this was gonna be more of an end of the show, end of the comic kind of reveal, but I felt like just because of the way things were getting made, it felt like it was better to reveal it sooner than later, and that would be more interesting.
Okay, so nobody knows.
Listen, I already got a spoiler. I just got a spoiler earlier, and I'm just like, wait, what? I was going to ask you about this later.
What?
Emily and Plink are siblings?
Yeah.
Since when?
They've always been siblings.
Was that in the first? No, it wasn't.
Yes,
I didn't get that from the first.
It's also in the comic. Look.
Then I must have missed that. I must have forgotten that because in the Dash, because I kept playing.
We drew them to look alike.
Yeah, I noticed that, but I didn't. I guess I must have missed that.
But it's more specific in the podcast because the comic I was gonna. Well, you have to it's subtle, but yeah. Anyway.
Oh well, there you go. Apparently, I wasn't paying attention. I have to hear it again.
All right, let's do. It reminded me of the life I once lived.
Okay. One of them. We need to have the.
Dun dun dun.
We need to have the scary music, right? When did you send this?
6:34.
No, I sent it to Kathy, and it looks like I thought I hit reply all, and I clearly did not.
Damn it, Dave!
You included all the
I see
important people, Dave.
Oh, I see how it is.
All about Emily here.
She's getting into character.
Oh, my goodness.
She's getting into character.
Yes, we're going to do it right now.
We are.
One take. Mick, are you ready with the tape?
I am
Roll.
ready for this.
It's been
We're
recorded.
rolling.
We-
You don't have to ask me
Just
for
roll them.
It's
Do you need to reload or something? Oh, it's all digital. Okay, sorry.
Wait a minute. The tape is flipping.
The tape. Yep.
Just telling you, Plink. It all comes back to when you stole my prom date.
I was gonna say.
Oh
We
man.
would be finding Playboy and Plink.
I know it should have been Playgirl, but yeah. Wrong bag.
I'm gonna open it up about like the music, like because the two of you are the reason this show sounds the way it does. All I can say is, for me, that it was very important that we feel right off the bat that we're in 1940, and anything else out like that happens in the mix, we can maybe go down that avenue. But it's always very important for me to feel that way, or feel like we're in this genre, which is why I always say Mick is the spooky and you are the horny.
How long have you been waiting to use that one? Okay. Oh my goodness.
A long time, actually, but
Right.
but because almost all of the horns on the show are you,
Right.
and I feel that that's really what elevates it. And I feel like a live horn, instead of trying to find a sound on a keyboard, is you can just hear it, right? You can
Right.
feel it. So you have a lot of themes that are always running throughout this, and so does Mick. You obviously do too.
Look at this. These are all themes right here. I got themes all over the place. Look at this.
So just to let the
Wow.
listeners and the watchers know that the beginning and end, the dash theme, this man shuffling papers at his keyboard is the composer of that song.
Yeah. It's the right over here on that end. People recognize that, I hope. So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
G minor major 7. Let's all music theory people out there. We can delete this later. But anyway, it's so unsettling, isn't it? And that's what it's just
It's a noir chord.
that. Yeah, it is very noir for those music history buffs. Yeah, 1930s, 1940s radio. Right, we're talking about the radio show. We can't forget this. I think Mick loves this. What will happen to our hero? Will he be stuck beneath the rocks, or that kind of thing? So yeah.
Nick, how do you contrast with that? Because a lot of the stuff that you do is actually, some of it's very electronic, but we work very hard for the most part for it not to sound that way. How would you say you're the counterbalance to that?
It was, I would constantly go to Dave and I'm like, listen, I'm using stuff that does not sound 1940s at all, especially for these 4 episodes of Plink, but you sort of have to suspend disbelief, I guess. And, it's taking place in Egypt. So I tried to keep, the electronic version of these instruments, these flutes and strings, as close as I could. But, there's some ambience there that probably couldn't have been produced in the 1940s. But again, we're Plink's locked in or trapped in a pyramid underground, and interesting things are happening on the walls and whatnot. So yeah, I think it's a great counterbalance from what Chris brings to the table and what I can bring to the table. I love the fact, and I've been working with Dave forever and a day here, that anytime I present him with music or Chris presents him with music, it seems like it gets his creative juices flowing.
I need to know what the story, for whatever reason, I need to know what the story sounds like before I can really completely tell it. I'll never forget the day we were just starting to put this together. We all agreed what we were going to do this, and I said I need themes for certain characters. I need a Cindy theme. I need a Sal theme. And you're like, okay, give me a couple days. But it was like 3 hours later, you send me this demo that's almost, it might be the same thing that we're using now, but like the minute I heard the Cindy theme, I was like, that is the character. And we have a very orchestrated version of it. We have a very kind of smaller version of it. And we also have like a very emotional version of it. And she is, to me, kind of the heart of the show. How does that turnaround happen for you? Is it a lot of things that you're throwing on the floor that nobody sees? Or is it like, how do you lock in there?
Well, as I think I remember, I need adjectives from you first, right? Who is Cindy? What's she all about? Give me some adjectives. And then I translate that into just the flow of the song. In my writing, I try to have like an ebb and flow, up and down and everything, not just like the same thing happening. I don't know. It's just I just close my eyes and kind of just think of the character and what would do the character justice. What would the character sound like if it was a song? So first of all, I always submit stuff. I write stuff, I submit stuff, and I'm saying, well, this is going to be rejected instantly. I'm going to have to rewrite this 50 times. So let me just write this melody that I had in my brain and put it on there. And somehow Dave's like, yes, there we go. And I'm like, wait, what? This was just a rough draft. And no.
It's like you have like a 95% success rate.
Which I don't know how, I don't know how that happened. So I basically didn't answer the question you just asked, but I hope it shed a little insight on the process. I don't know. I've been writing music since I was young. I love film scores. Like, it's just, so I think there's my background in that helps me to write that. I don't think I could have written stuff instantly, as you said, without that background. And so if you have any young listeners listening, please soak up all film scores, study music theory and musical instruments and the range of certain instruments and how things fit together and all that stuff.
Right.
Can you hear this?
Yes.
And again, it's in, what is it? It's in 3/4. So we have this. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then. And then we transition to, ooh, I love that. Do you hear that we have tension and release, right? This is tension, release. Is he a bad guy? No, he's okay. I'm not sure about this character. No, I could invite him over for a sleepover. But he gives off a creepy vibe, but yeah, I'll go food shopping with him, kind of thing. So yeah. There you go, that's all I got.
All right, cool.
For now.
Where are we going? All the way back?
Yeah, let's all.
Page 1.
19.
Yeah.
So Ricky is the cop. Okay. Yeah.
Ricky is the cop.
Vroom, vroom.
I'm sorry, I gotta get the sillies out.
No. It is all appreciated.
Chris, thank you for giving me like gold for like behind the tapes, behind the scenes stuff.
You're welcome, everybody. You're welcome.
You have been listening to Dash and the voices of Christopher Tolomeo, Mick Loro, Dave Ebersole, Kathy Mostek, and Carlos Giga. Music by Christopher Tolomeo and Mick Loro. Cover art by Vinnie Rico. Executive producer Mick Loro. Dash created by Dave Ebersole and Delia Gable. To hear the full extended version of this behind-the-scenes episode, support us at patreon.com/lightboothblackout at the Shine the Light Bright tier. Stay tuned next week for a very important announcement. Thank you for listening. I'm John Barker. Until next time, keep your eyes peeled. Once you know what to watch for, you always know there's more to the story.
Hey, welcome to the Last Comic Shop Podcast,
a comic book podcast that actually talks about comics.
Yep, each week we open the shop up and read and discuss a comic.
Sometimes we pair that up with comic book movies or TV shows.
Or not. Lots of times it's just comic books and sound effects.
Oh yes, definitely lots of sound effects.
So tune in on all the major podcasting platforms, The Last Comic Shop Podcast, or check out our library of evergreen shows at www.lastcomicshoppodcast.com.